She thought he was just another homeless father, standing alone in the snow, holding a crying baby. She didn't know his name, she didn't know his story, but something in his eyes made her trust him. As the days turned into weeks, one question lingered in the air. Who was he really? And why did it feel like he was hiding something too heavy for words? His wife had died in childbirth and left behind more than a child. What had he left behind, and what was he after? Listen until the end to find out what happened next, and please let us know which country you're listening from. Please also subscribe to our channel. Stay with me, Caleb, just a little longer. The icy wind howled down the deserted street in Toledo, Ohio, as Rachel Bennett, a 32-year-old preschool teacher, caught sight of a man standing at the bus stop, clutching a baby wrapped in a thin blanket. Her heart dropped. The child was crying, his tiny face red from the cold. She hesitated for just a moment before jogging across the street. "Sir?" she called. The man turned. He looked utterly drained, his cheeks sunken, his eyes bloodshot, his coat soaked through with snow. The baby whimpered in his arms. "You'll freeze out here," she said. "Come inside, please." "Rachel, have you lost your mind?" hissed her elderly neighbor, Mrs. Loretta Jenkins, when she saw the stranger enter their building. "You're bringing some random man with a baby into your home? He could be dangerous." "Look at them," Rachel replied, gesturing toward the man. "That baby's freezing. He won't survive the night out there." Inside her small apartment, Rachel boiled water and handed the baby a warm bottle. The man's hands trembled as he held it. "My name's Jason," he said softly. "Jason Miller. And this is Caleb. How old is he?" 3 months. His mom. She didn't make it. Rachel didn't pry further. The pain in his voice said enough. She offered him the couch, and he accepted with quiet gratitude. Caleb, full and warm now, settled in Rachel's arms and fell asleep instantly. The next morning, Rachel found Jason already fixing the leaky faucet in her kitchen. Over the next few days, he repaired her bathroom light, patched the drywall in the hallway, and even coaxed warmth from her sluggish heater. Caleb bonded quickly with Rachel, reaching for her whenever she entered the room. Even Loretta grudgingly admitted the baby was sweet, but Rachel couldn't ignore the strange details. Jason's speech was educated and articulate. His posture was too refined for a construction worker. Once, while doing laundry, she found a luxury watch tucked deep inside his coat. Later, she caught a glimpse of him using a sleek iPhone, but when around her, he only used a battered flip phone. "Who are you really, Jason?" she often wondered. But she didn't ask. Not yet. One night, when the heater gave out again and the temperature dipped below freezing, Jason invited her to share the couch and blankets. "I won't try anything," he said gently. "It's just warmer this way." Rachel lay beside him, heart pounding. Caleb slept in his bassinet nearby. Wrapped in silence and stillness, she felt a strange sense of peace. Jason was falling in love, and it terrified him. Rachel loved Caleb like he was her own. She never questioned his origin, never pitied Jason or asked about his past. She just showed up, kind, funny, honest. And yet Jason kept pulling away. He couldn't tell her the truth. His real name was Dr. Jason Preston, CEO of St. Mary's Memorial Hospital in Chicago, the very hospital where his wife, Alyssa, had died giving birth to Caleb. And after her death, everything unraveled. He found the texts. Alyssa had been cheating on him for over a year. The child she bore might not even be his. Whispers spread through the hospital corridors. News outlets sniffed around. The board advised him to stay quiet for the sake of the hospital's image, but Jason couldn't stay. He left everything, the business, the mansion, the boardroom, and vanished with the only innocent one in the mess, Caleb. One Saturday, Jason took Caleb for a walk while Rachel did laundry. As she folded his dried coat, her hand brushed something heavy in the pocket. She pulled it out, a solid gold watch engraved with his initials, JP. Her stomach turned. When he returned, she asked, "Jason, or should I say, Dr. Preston?" His face paled. "How long were you going to lie to me?" Jason sank into a chair and told her everything. Alyssa's betrayal, the paternity questions, the shame of being humiliated in his own hospital. "I wasn't just running from the board," he said, his voice hollow. "I was running from myself. From what it meant to raise a baby that might not be mine. But he's all I have now. And you didn't have to love him. But you did." Rachel didn't speak. Her heart was breaking. She turned away. "Please say something," he begged. "You should go," she said. Jason nodded, tears threatening to fall. "I'm sorry." He packed a bag, gathered Caleb, who cried the entire time, and left. Days passed, then weeks. Rachel tried to move on. But Caleb's crib remained in her room, untouched. She hadn't had the heart to fold it away. Then one night, Loretta collapsed in her hallway. Heart attack? Rachel rushed her to the hospital, where doctors said she needed emergency surgery, costing over $100,000. Rachel was crushed. She sat in the waiting room, clutching Loretta's insurance papers when a nurse approached. "Your patient's been transferred to a private cardiac suite," she said. "Costs covered by a benefactor. The surgeon is flying in from Chicago." Rachel blinked. "Who?" The nurse only smiled. Back home, Rachel found an envelope in Loretta's nightstand. Inside, $50,000 in cash, and a note. For Loretta. For Caleb. For you. JP. Her hands shook as she picked up the phone. Jason's voice was groggy. It was early morning. "Hello? It's me," she whispered. "Rachel, are you okay? It's Loretta. She's in surgery." "I know," he said. "She'll be all right. I made sure of it. Why are you doing this?" "Because I love you. And I love the boy you chose to love, even though he isn't yours. And maybe not yours either," she said quietly. "It doesn't matter anymore," Jason replied. "He's mine. You taught me that." 2 weeks later, Rachel flew to Chicago to attend a National Early Education Award ceremony. As Rachel stood beneath the bright lights of the auditorium stage, a wave of applause rippled through the crowd. The master of ceremonies handed her the plaque, Ohio's Early Educator of the Year, but the words blurred as she looked out over the audience, eyes scanning the sea of unfamiliar faces. And then she saw him. In the very last row, near the exit, stood Jason. He looked different, yet unmistakably the same. His suit was tailored, his posture more confident, his hair neatly trimmed, but it was his eyes that struck her hardest, still filled with that same quiet warmth, and an unmistakable sorrow, the kind that only comes from regret mixed with hope. Her breath caught. She looked away, clutching the plaque as if it could steady her racing heart. After the ceremony, she stepped outside into the crisp evening air, her thoughts still spinning. He was there, waiting. No cameras, no press. Just a man with a bouquet of soft white lilies, her favorite. "I'm proud of you," he said, gently offering her the flowers. His voice was low, steady, reverent. "You've become everything I always knew you were." She took the bouquet slowly, then looked up at him, her gaze piercing, unafraid. "Are you still running?" Jason held her eyes for a long moment. The wind caught the edge of his coat, but he didn't flinch. "No," he said finally, his voice firm. "Not anymore." She exhaled, a soft tremble in her chest. Then, with a quiet nod and tears barely held back, she whispered, "Then take me home." And for the first time in a long time, he smiled, because he finally had a home to go to. They married in Toledo on the exact day they met, one snowy December evening. Jason now spent half the week in Chicago overseeing the hospital, and the other half in Ohio, where he helped Rachel open a nonprofit early childhood center. Caleb ran through the halls every day, now 4 years old. He called her Mama Rachel and Jason Daddy. Rachel was pregnant with their daughter. "I never thought I'd be a father again," Jason whispered as they sat on the porch watching snowfall. "But this feels real." "It is," Rachel said, "because love doesn't need blood. It just needs a choice. And you chose us." "I did," she smiled. "And I always will." After listening to Jason and Rachel's story, we want to hear from you. If someone loved your child like their own, even without blood, would that be enough to trust them with your heart? Let us know your honest thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for listening to Storyline Narratives. Please do subscribe for more narratives.